Welcome to Body Efficiency Training, and in this video I'm going to be talking about Conor McGregor's unique arm flow exercise. And it's an arm swing exercise. I call it snake arms, but all internal martial arts have got an exercise a bit like this, or a variation of it. But truth be told, this is really the ultimate one. It's a complete unification of your spine and limbs, and you're moving like a snake. So it's a complete snake flow body exercise leading up to the ability to whip strikes through your body. So it's very effective in martial arts. And Conor McGregor, whatever you may think of him, is in my opinion probably the best example of that. He's been able to take internal martial arts into the ring and prove it under high pressure and combat scenarios. But most of us are just doing this for our own health reasons and our pleasure, so we're not fighters at all. And here's DKU, another internal martial arts practitioner who's done very well and tried to take it into the ring as well. But it's usually the case, these internal practitioners, when they go in the ring and fight against a professional fighter, they always lose because they haven't done enough real combat practice. If you're going to be doing combat, you've got to do combat practice as well. But this body flow training is so good that it's very, very useful for real combat. And Conor McGregor, if you watch his fights and watch the video links I put below, you'll see how he talks about his training, and he talks about how to extend the joints and separate the joints as he strikes, and that's very much an internal kung fu thing. And I'll put a link to another video of mine in which I'm doing an internal power strike and separating out the bones, getting clicks in the bones. So this I call hydraulic power. It's very internal, very, very powerful, but very difficult to do, and it shouldn't be expected that I can just go and fight now. It's a unique skill, and it requires a unique practice, but it won't help you with combat. It's just helping you with body dynamics, and if you so happen to want to do combat and you do it as well, then it will help you with combat. But you need both. If you want to be a fighter, you need both. But Conor McGregor, as I said, you watch the way he moves. Now it's quite a complex movement. You're twisting left and right, but you've also got a wave in the spine. You've got a sway in the hips, a sway in the rib cage, and then you're whipping out through loose arms into a figure of eight of the hands, and you can see the figure of eight motion there if you watch the hands. But interesting enough, you see, again, I'm trying to keep a vertical spine, but this is not perfect. I'm still practicing, and you can see if you watch carefully, go back and watch it again, you'll see my left shoulder is slightly moves more than my right shoulder, so my right shoulder is still a bit too stiff. And this is another arm swing, so you can see a different type of arm swing. This is a Shaolin arm swing, big wheel arms, and again you're loosening up the whole spine and flinging out the arms, but I'm doing it in my own way, an entire body kinetic chain with a bounce up and down. And here's another interesting one, and again all internal martial arts have this arm drop. You'll see it in Tai Chi, and I'm doing a bit more than a drop. I'm trying to create a complete snake whip up the spine and then fall down. It's a ballistic strike. There's relaxation, and that means ballistic means under the force of gravity, and you can see my fingers just touch my shoulders, but it's natural, they're falling in that direction. And if you can whip your arms down through a kinetic chain, a series of elasticated levers, i.e. the joints, at the end of the fingers you get a very strong whip right at the fingertips. Here you can see the whip is going straight down, but there I just change it to slightly forward. So now you can see we're moving into something that could be an actual strike. I'm whipping out right to the front. So I've just changed the angle of the fall a little bit, but the whole whip comes through the spine. So you can see now how these arm swinging exercises are very powerful, they're very good for circulation, and you've got to do them very slowly, very carefully. And I'm going to also put a link to another video where I'm doing a very basic introductory arm swing workout, so you can do some very gentle, easy movements to get going. This one I'm showing a bit more of the ultimate, and just so you can see where this can move to. And here I'm doing a hook punch, a hook strike, but it's a whip strike. I'm whipping out in the same way I was doing there, and whipping out through a twist in the elbow and the wrist. So it's a loose strike, and I'm whipping to the fist. Now, again, don't get confused. A whip strike is got it's distance related. You've got to hit at the exact moment where the whip reaches its maximum extension. So there's only like an inch range. So it's not that useful. You've got to realize it in actual fighting. You've got to be perfect with timing, perfect with speed, and perfect with your positioning to make one of these strikes work. But it's also, if you're lucky enough to be the first strike, it's very, very fast, and all you need is a whip to the face that does a bit of damage, gives you some distraction, and then you can come in with some more power. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this overall video on arm swinging and snake arms and complete body snake flow. Look forward to seeing you again in the next video.